Hello, welcome back. Today I have 6 amazing podcasts for you covering a wide range of topics from happiness to crime to personal development to finance. I have compiled a list of my favorite episodes from these podcasts into a playlist for you. So if you want to check those out, check the link in the description. So the first podcast is All the Hacks. This is a fantastic intersection of many different topics. It combines science, it combines logic, and actionable recommendations. It doesn't just tell you what to do, it tells you why to do it and kind of breaks down a different topic every episode. If you are the type of person that wants to optimize your life and learn useful life hacks, but also the science and logic behind those life hacks, you should definitely check this out. There's an episode for everyone. It's a great starting point to a lot of big key areas of life. He brings on special guests that either are experts in a certain topic, have some key life experiences, or really interesting life stories. And I find that each episode strikes a really good balance between not just providing actionable steps and hacks, but also breaking down each topic. One of my favorites that I've shared with a lot of friends is the science behind lasting relationships, which covers so many different things, but one of the most unique and compelling aspects of that was just breaking down a study that someone did over a group of couples and how their relationships progressed over 6 years, and identified some of the key tenets of a successful relationship that led to the couple still being together 6 years later. It also talked about how the idea of the one doesn't really exist and how to evaluate and look at your own relationship in different, more critical lenses. A few of the other episodes that I've loved are Afford Everything, that talks about escaping the 9-to-5, building sources of passive income, and taking mini semi-retirements throughout your life. And then an episode about how to live your rich life with Ramit Sethi. I love that guy. He's on a lot of other podcasts that I listen to as well. The second recommendation is Crime Show by Gimlet. This is a perfect podcast to throw on anytime you're doing something that is manual, but you want to keep your brain occupied. These are interesting, engaging narrative stories that are loosely all related to some sort of crime. But the twist is that it's not the type of crime you'd expect. There's a ton of podcasts out there that are covering murders and, other gruesome crimes. But in the context of this podcast, crime is much more broad of a subject. Each episode covers something pretty unique and out there and a little bit more rare, such as telephone fraud, impersonation, cyber attacks. And what I love about each episode is that as it progresses, your idea of the outcome or the nut of the story kind of evolves, and you think you know how it's going to unfold, but I'm usually surprised at the end. So it's a great podcast if you're looking for pure entertainment. They're relatively digestible, I think about 30 minutes or so each. So here are a couple of the episodes that I've loved. Don't click this link. Paging Dr. Barnes, Scum.xls, A Man with No Name, 21 Witnesses, and The Secret Billboard chart topper. The next podcast is called How to Be a Better Human. It's a podcast from TED, and it's for people who not just want to better themselves, but also hear from others that are experts in their own way. And this is perfect for me. I'm a big personal development, self-help person. In my life, being a human is just one of those unspoken things that baffles me. There's so many little components of life that I'm still trying to figure out these days. And I'm a big advocate for growth mindset. So each episode breaks down a specific tenet of life and kind of talks about how we can be a little bit better than who we currently are. And to me, that's just very motivating and inspiring. So each episode covers a wide range of topics. There's big, broad questions about happiness to more nuanced and specific topics like social media, self-awareness, climate change. Some of my favorite episodes have revolved around topics like building stronger resilience, having better conversations, how to spend your money to maximize your happiness, leading a more fulfilling life, Am I Normal?, which is a recent episode that I loved. The next recommendation is called Bigger Pockets Money Podcast, and it's a personal finance podcast that includes a lot of really great advice for a wide variety of people. And if you haven't heard of Bigger Pockets, it's a online community that's primarily focused on real estate investing. They've got over 2 million members and they have 5 podcasts. So this is just one of the podcasts. The thing that I love about Bigger Pockets is that it's just such a strong online community. Everyone sounds genuinely excited to participate, share their stories, and learn from each other. And the guests are usually not afraid to divulge a lot of details about their lives. Numbers, actionable items that most people would be a little bit wary to share with strangers. The host asks a lot of clarifying questions for listeners that may not be familiar with more advanced topics. And there's a lot of other online communities like blogs, forums, Facebook groups where you can actually meet other people who are interested in learning about finance, real estate, whatever it might be. So for the Bigger Pockets Money podcast, there are in-depth episodes. They're usually over an hour each. So it's a detailed listen, and they usually cover people in all sorts of situations. It's very relatable for people who kind of want to take the next step in their personal finance journey. So I called out this guy, Ramesh Sethi, earlier, and he's also recently come on this podcast as well and gives money advice for couples about how to live a rich life together. I love this guy. There's episode 236, which is talking about enjoying life before financial independence, very simple investing strategies. And then one that I thought was really interesting, it's episode 227. They interview someone who has already retired. So just talking through this guy's day-to-day, what is life like post-retirement, just giving you a taste of one possible route that you can take when you do get to that, finish line and actually retire. But the big picture about this podcast is that it's very relatable. I feel like a lot of resources out there, they just talk about these concepts in a very vague context. And most people, they don't just do that one thing to help them reach their financial goals. It's usually a combination of a bunch of different things. And one format that some of the episodes take on, which I love, is just having one person or a couple or something come on the show and break down their entire financial portfolio. So everything from their main income, side hustles they're thinking about, their financial goals, any debts and expenses that they currently have, and just all aspects of their financial situation. And hearing about these topics in that light is very effective and informative to not only explain certain concepts that I haven't fully gotten the grasp of yet, but also how to apply them to your own life and optimize these concepts to more quickly achieve whatever your financial goals are. So. Second to last is The Happiness Lab by Dr. Laurie Santos. She's a professor of psychology and head of one of the colleges at Yale, and she's an expert on human cognition and cognitive biases. This class that she teaches, it is the most popular course at Yale in over 300 years, which is mind-blowing. Each episode kind of talks about a different component, and a lot of these subjects I've already mentioned, and they're nothing mind-blowing, but the way that she kind of breaks them down, gives real-life examples, talks about statistics, studies, really helps you internalize whatever the topic is. And anytime I finish an episode, I always come away feeling like, wow, I just have a much better grasp on what it even is and where to go from here. Some of my favorite recent episodes have covered how to adopt a growth mindset, how to be happier at work, and then one great episode that I listened to lately was why nostalgia isn't so great, why nostalgia ain't so rosy. I'm a very nostalgic person, and one thing that this episode talks about is how we tend to remember things a lot more positively than they actually were, which is so interesting to think about. I can see the advantage that it offers for people just living their lives and thinking back on past memories, but also makes you think about how it skews your perception on past memories, and maybe you think something was great and you're just remembering all the positive parts and none of the negative parts. The last podcast is Life Kit by NPR. And this one is a little bit different. It's a little bit more technical, a little bit literal versus some of the other podcasts that I already mentioned. These are sustainable little steps that you can take. There are key takeaways breaking down each topic. And by listening to these episodes, it's not like you're going to fully resolve any problems that you're facing in your life, but they're going to give you actionable insights that can help you understand certain topics, develop better habits, take a better approach to certain things in your life. There's a good range of topics. There are some really technical topics such as how to be a better runner, how to take care of your plants properly. The ones that have usually resonated with me are a little bit more, personal development themed. So how to tap into the good anxiety in your life, how to receive feedback, how to start therapy, deal with burnout, be a better listener, tackle imposter syndrome. One random one that I really liked was the secret to building better playlists, body positivity, microaggressions. There are so many useful gems in this roster. So definitely encourage you to check it out. So those are the 6 that I have for you today. I hope you enjoyed. I hope this was helpful. If you have other recommendations that are a little bit more entertainment focused, I would love if you drop those in the comments down below. I hope you have a great rest of your week. Appreciate you watching. Smash the subscribe button if you want to see more content like this, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.